Let's get this up here. Today I have a guest, Kara. How do you say your last name?
Makasziw.
Makasziw. Okay, we're gonna have to get you right close to that mic. That mic needs to be in front of you there.
Right in front of me.
Makasziw. This is such a different. Okay, so the way I'd spell it, you got like Z's and things like that. But it's where's the name come from?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
My husband is first generation born.
Wow.
And so
he was born. How long did he stay over there for?
His dad was 6 or so when he moved to the States.
Oh, okay. So then he moved over here when you were 6. Mm-hmm. That's not terrible.
No.
So everything that he remembers is probably just great and perfect and fine, right?
You like to think so.
Oh, really? Was it that bad then?
No, I think that Ukraine's had a long, hard road, and I don't think it's ever really been easy for them.
There's no doubt about that. It's quite sad actually. I know I've got a few friends. Actually, I got a friend right now that's traveling through Ukraine, and I believe that's her heritage, and we've been friends for over 20 odd years. But I can't even say her last name to be honest with you.
It's beautiful there. They have a beautiful country.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Some of the photos that she was putting up, like they're building this. A private person over there is building this humongous statue of Jesus. But they've only got this far so far. And then what she did, it was really funny because they're moving it. It's all aluminum and stuff, but it's painted white. And what she did is she photoshopped it on top of a mountain just like this. And it's like,
only
looks
the
like
bottom.
genie or something coming out of the mountain.
How funny.
But it looks really cool. Like it's such a beautiful, like they've done great work on it. Yeah.
Wonderful people.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
We have a couple of things to talk about, but first of all, I want to know who you are. Like, where were you born? Where did you start out? Like, was mom and dad in the house?
I was born in Kansas. Before my first birthday, my parents moved to Texas. It was a rocky road for my parents. My biological dad was not a good man and treated my mom very poorly. And so right around my first birthday, when my sister was 2 and I was 1, she left him. We spent a year in hiding, trying to get away. In that process, through friends of a friend, my mom met who I call my dad. And he has since raised us and taken good care of us when we were young and everything. But we stayed in Texas until I was 19. And then I've spent my adult life traveling and living in all sorts of different places. Okay,
so let's break. That's a lot right there.
It's a lot.
You just unloaded a whole lot. Can we talk about it?
No, I'm good with talking about it.
I'm okay. We have a little Cole right beside us. Sorry guys, he's distracted me.
You're okay.
You want to jump in the shot? There
Kids are great.
So from a young age, your mum realized that this guy was not ever going to be...
He was an alcoholic and abusive in all the ways that you don't want your husband to be. In the biker world, like that kind of world. Okay. And so it wasn't when she left him, she didn't just leave him, she left a complete lifestyle, right? And rebuilt that lifestyle for us to give us a better life, basically. Yeah. And everything.
And how old were you then when she left him?
I was just about a year old.
Oh, so it was early straight out the gate. You didn't really know who
I didn't know who he was. Yeah. I met my dad she met my dad when I was maybe 2. So about a year or so after that. They got married when I was 6. He adopted us when I was in the 8th grade.
I love that.
Yeah. He's been very good to us.
How did she meet him?
Through friend of a friend. She went to a party at his place, and it was down by the river. And I remember her telling me in my early 20s, she goes, because I was asking her that same thing, like, how did you even get here, right?
Yeah.
And she said that she went to the party, thought he was cute, loved where he lived, and was like, this is where I want to raise my kids, like in a place like this, right? And so she just kept in touch, and over the course of a couple years, they got to know each other, and he had 2 kids of his own from a previous marriage. So we were very much Brady Bunch family.
So were they in his care as well?
No, they spent most of their time with their mom, but they came out every summer, every holiday, all of that. So we knew each other really well and everything. We grew up together.
And it's such a, I mean, it sounds like she protected herself. So left that guy, went into hiding. Like, what was that? Like, I mean,
I was too young to
you
know
probably
what that was like. But all I can say is I'm grateful for the choices she made along the way. I can, to add to the story, I met him for the first time when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
I had never spoken to him. In order to be adopted, he had to sign his rights away and everything. And so I was not part of that process, other than saying, yeah, this is what I want to do, you know? And then when I met him when I was 17, I asked him, you know, like, what's wrong with you? Basically, you know, why couldn't you change for us?
Because your mom was pretty cool, take it.
Yeah. And so he never left that lifestyle. He was still in it when I met him, and I got a glimpse of what my life would have looked like had she not made those choices. Ooh. And he eventually was, for lack of a better term, taken out. He was going for presidency of his biker club, and him and his dog were taken out in 2005.
That's like taken out for dinner, right? But not ever coming back.
Yeah. And so it's a big reality check because, I mean, I had a lot of things go wrong in my life when I was really young, and my mom did so much to protect us along the way that even looking back, I have no ill feelings about how she raised us and my problematic childhood because I know that she made the biggest decision that she could have in that moment, and it was very hard on her. I can't, like, it just it's amazing that she got away, and I understand why she went into hiding, because she had to be. If she didn't, she would have been taken out, which is the saddest thing. You never leave.
You don't, you know. And I've had friends back home in some bikey groups, and I don't know how I was so. I mean, I promise you, there must have been a bunch of angels around me, like blocking certain things, because every now and then they would come to me, hey, come and do this for us, come and do that. Oh, I'm too busy. But I knew from such a young age, steer clear.
They're not all bad. Like, there are some really great people and groups that ride bikes, right?
Sure.
But the particular one that they were a part of was particularly destructive.
They do what they do. You know,
exactly,
and it's not,
right.
You know, if they put all that effort into a regular business,
doing good,
they probably would have done real good.
Like Baca here in town, they're amazing. Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Oh yes,
they're fantastic.
Excellent.
And I really appreciate how people can.
But they're average people. They're not. They're just like us.
Yeah.
Right.
Who are part of a biker club, right?
Yeah.
And so, but they do good for their community within that aspect of things.
And it's kind of like, you know, as they go down that path, it's just your habits. Whatever your habits are, what you know, what you've learned, what you've always done, it starts to take over you. So whatever your habits are, guys, please be careful.
I've had to spend a great deal of my time changing habits because when you think about it, just because she left it and she created this new life for us, it didn't come without challenges. There's nothing like blending two families together. Kids don't always get along, right? And so we had that. My sister and I, we had emotional baggage, so to speak, through it all. And then she had habits of hanging out with people that maybe weren't the best. Even though she left that environment, you tend to find friends that still enable that kind of behavior. And so...
who was this, your mom?
My mom had friends.
Because it's what she knew.
It's what she knew and what she was comfortable with. And I can look back and see over the course of the 18 years of my youth, right, the progression she took to get away from it. And now you would never know. Like, if you met her, you would never know that was her life. Good. She lives a completely different lifestyle and everything, but it took her a very long time to get there. And it's also the reason I choose to not hold anything against her for my childhood. She did the best she could. I look at me as a mom and I'm like, oh my gosh, my kids have two parents that love them. We do well for ourselves. We work hard. We love them. We teach them, and we still have problems in our house. And so if we still have to work through things, then how can I hold her down?
You really can't, huh?
No shame. Like, you gotta forgive and move on.
And even at the very least, you just got to move on.
Understand it's life.
Yeah. I had a pretty interesting life growing up with my mum and dad and things like that. We don't really talk that much. My dad came over here once to visit, which I think is amazing, especially for what the road that he and I had traveled. And then as far as my mum, she's doing her thing, I'm doing mine, and I wish her very well.
Yep.
Yeah, but I know she's done some hard things. She had a lot of her life was against her, and then that became a workaholic mentality where she would just work, and she was doing like rotating shifts, that's just ridiculous. That's one thing I look back at and I take my hat off, because she did survive. She did provide for us, and the money was there. It wasn't like we didn't have money, or we didn't have lots of it, but we had enough money to get clothes and things like that and food. But it just seems like the main element that was missing is I really wanted my mum. And because of the shifts that she was work, you'd never see her, and then whenever she would be home, she'd be out gambling or whatever. So it's like, oh, okay, that's what you guys do, and that's what your habits are, So for me, it looking back at it now, like, I know that probably sounds pretty harsh. People probably judging me for what I just said about my mum, but
no.
At the same token, I'm raising 2 boys by myself, and I've been raising them since they were 4 and 2. You know what I mean? My little guy, I got him out of diapers. You know what I mean?
Right.
One weekend, no accidents. You know what I mean? So but
potty
it's all,
training. Oh my god!
It's preparation. Honestly,
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's harder for women or boys or whatnot, but we spent 30 days every single. Like, he nominated the day. We made sure it was on a Friday, so we had the weekend together.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally every single day I would just say, "Hey, let's make an X on the calendar. Check this out, man.
No accidents today.
You're gonna have well, that's it. But not even that. It was just a case of it's going to happen soon." And he had already started using the restroom with his diaper before even coming into it. So going into it is kind of like, we're just exchanging a diaper for pants, and he's already been doing this anyway.
Exactly, right.
So it was pull-ups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun. Like, I've taken that now into everything I do with my kids. Last summer, and I've talked about this a couple of times, sorry guys, but last summer I shut screens down, and I said, you can earn some screen time, but you're not getting screens flat out.
We don't have screens in our house.
I love that. And I don't mind them having a little bit, because I don't want them to go out in the universe without not playing games and having
That's
that.
True. We have
etiquette.
My screens, and I will let them use mine occasionally, but it's not. They
don't have their own.
They used to, and then they broke, and I used it as an excuse not to get another one.
You see a massive difference in their behavior.
Our summer has been amazing because of it. Yeah.
So last summer it was a book. It was about reading books.
Yes.
And both my kids come out, and now I spend so much money on books. I'm okay with it. I'll go into debt for it. I don't know. I'll do what I do just to have an unlimited supply of books for them.
Absolutely.
I love that. And then this summer has been, hey guys, I'm going to cut you a deal. I'm going to try and get back into excavation. I'll go get my general contractor license and get all that sorted.
Love that.
And then once we get rolling and I get comfortable with having some money coming back in, I'm going to start traveling with you guys.
Yes.
And I mean, let's go to DC.
Yeah.
Let's go spend 2
really
weeks.
Travel.
Let's go travel and live there for a minute and have a look, like a couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was the trade-off. So every single day they wake up at 6:30. They eat breakfast for a half an hour. Then they go from 7 till 9, right? Because 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10 is the cutoff for the Iron Kids. The
check-in or something.
But they do the summer camp, which is fantastic, by the way. I'm so impressed with those guys. So they would clean the whole house. And I mean toilet, bathroom, the whole gamut.
Man, you are making some woman someday very happy.
I really hope so. Because
they're going to be great husbands. I have to say, I appreciate that my husband knows how. I do most of it, right? But he steps up every time I need him for anything. And I believe that it started when he was young. You know what I mean? And so good for you.
Yeah,
Good job, Dad.
It wasn't like that for me. It was lots of yelling and screaming in my house.
Mine
there was no
too.
standard set. There was no standard for bed. There's no standard for anything. You know, it was kind of crazy and chaotic. So I've tried to take all the crazy and chaotic, or although I will say, I am not the greatest at losing my marbles sometimes. Like, I get so frustrated, and then I have to pause, and I have to look at them and go, oh, man, you guys are so small. Come here, give me a hug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I just talk through them like, okay, I need you to do this because of da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly right.
Lots of explaining, lots of patience. It's not easy. It's really not easy. They come to my therapist with me at least once a month. I will make a point to bring them with me. And we sit down, and I'll already have told him what I've done wrong. Right, I'm very ashamed of the things that I do wrong, and it's usually yelling and screaming, and it's just the go-to default factor. I hate it.
Oh, me too.
But you know, that's what I mean, you know. And even my therapist said, "You'd be surprised, but we're all there, man." I just think I'm the worst at it. I don't know.
Well, I told someone the other day, I was like, I used to be a very different person. I've spent the majority of the last 14 years trying to better myself and not be that person, but nothing brings out the tone of my voice quite like
the clench, push, and pressure. Bang! It's right there, right now.
And I have to correct, and when I don't correct quick enough, I always apologize to my kids when I raise my voice. I can tell that they don't like it, you know, but I think sometimes that's when they don't necessarily hear my words, but they definitely hear that I'm over it. Yeah. And then I say, I need a minute. And I take a breath, and we come back to it. And now they're hearing my words because they know that I'm serious, and we've reset, and they're actually in a place to actually listen and everything. And
there's my therapist there, right there. He's such a
fantastic.
Good dude. Yeah, Magnum Morgan there he goes. No, I get you. I totally get it. Every time I've had an outbreak or whatever I've done, I've seen them do something, and it's like, oh man. It's like, give me a sec, guys. I'll just go walk. If I walk a block, that's mean I'm really pissed. And then I come back and I'm like, hey man, I'm so sorry. Yeah. And just so you guys know, no one should ever treat you like that ever. No. They should be able to come to you guys in a respectful manner. You know, and we all need to step up. Anyway, I'm trying. I'm trying. It's not easy. It's a work in progress.
It's 30 years of bad habits that you can't just get rid of in a handful of years. Yep. And so I asked my kids the other day, though. I was like, I say that I want to get better, and I feel like I'm getting better. Yep. But in your opinion, because I think that their feedback is very important.
Oh, I love this.
Have I gotten better? Yeah. You know, and they're like, yeah, Mom, you don't yell at us near as much as you used to. And that's really, that is a good sign for me, because that means that I'm moving in the right direction. And I see it in my mom too, growing up, right? I saw where she was when I was really, really young, and where she was even as I turned 18, and who she is now 20 years later, right? Yeah. And so she's always worked towards improvement of self in everything, and I believe that we can all improve, even those who think they're perfect or not perfect.
And you gotta, like, don't, it's like, for people out there that are trying and they want to try anything new or get rid of procrastination or anything that you could ever think of it like you're in a massive ocean liner, like a humongous cruise ship, and you're in a bay and you need to turn around. You can't do that by yourself. You need help. Tugboats are there to help, bring that around.
And it's a slow process.
So long. Yeah, it's such a but and then if you want it's the small wins. Like if you're procrastinating, just set yourself up for, you're going to start writing in a book. Dude, sit down at your desk, open the book, and just be there. And then set a timer for like 2 minutes. Click, you won. Now you can go, and then once that alarm goes off, you can go do something else again, and then come back and try it again. Yeah. Maybe set it for 7 or maybe 10. And just like, it's the little itty bitty wins that get your brain and the synapses firing in the right order. Yes. Because when you sit there with I'm going to sit there for 1 hour. Dude, you've already lost. You're setting something that you've been procrastinating on for such a long time. And the reason why I'm saying this is I have a whole brand new system of how I can do this podcast. and it's still sitting on my desk at home, and I've been chipping away ever so slightly, little bit by little bit. I am not tech savvy.
No.
And I have a couple of friends helping me, and I'm just slowly chinking away.
That's business too. That's
Yeah.
my business is literally a day-to-day thing. We built it from nothing.
Wow.
And two friends doing something that was just fun. It was supposed to be a hobby.
Is this the Wayward? What is it?
No, Wayfinder events.
Wayfinder,
We
sorry.
actually started out as Destination Organization Utah.
Okay.
We were a professional organizing business. We would go into homes and do garages and pantries and closets and
Oh
all
my
those sorts of
goodness.
things. Yeah, it was so much fun. But it was a very hard and emotional job. It's amazing how attached people get to their things. And
Wow.
I am not a therapist. I barely handle my own emotions. And so it was kind of a daunting task, but it was
Yeah.
rewarding because to see the final product and everybody's really happy, and that was really nice. But my business partner's husband is a chef, and he was doing a dinner, and he's like, hey, we need a table decorated. And we're like, okay, let's have some fun, right?
Yeah.
Most amazing experience of my life. I loved it. I knew instantly that this is exactly what I wanted to do with my life. It played on so many other things that I had done in my past. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom for a decade, and I would throw really great Christmas parties, and every birthday party was themed and done to the nines and everything. And my family would chuckle and be like, oh, it's just because she's a stay-at-home mom. She has the time to do it, right? They weren't unkind about it. It was just their observation. And it was probably very true. You know, I did have the time for it and everything, and it was my focus. And so to turn around and see that I can turn something that I enjoy and love into a business that makes great impact at the same time, that's where Wayfinder events came from. Is I just want to make an impact in my community and do well by it. Living here is probably, I've lived a lot of places, and it is by far the best place I've ever lived. And the people are amazing, and the opportunities here, even though it's a small town, it's just exponential from even Vegas. You would think such a large place, right? So much opportunity, but I'm not sure I could have done the same thing there that I'm doing here. And I'm grateful for how the community's embraced that.
The problem with Vegas is that there's two tiers.
Yeah.
Like there's Vegas and the people that live there, and then there's the events of Vegas.
Yes.
So, you have to be in unions, you have to be certified, you have to have, and so many kickbacks, so many things
Those are
people
not
got
the
to pay.
events I want to do either. You know what I mean? I don't want to do the party lifestyle, even though we plan parties, right? It's not the same level, not the same degree to what it is and everything.
Yeah, no, the people in this town are phenomenal. I can't even. There was, I couldn't have orchestrated for me to land here. I mean, the way how I came here was really garbage, but it was the red herring that dragged me here after my wife had passed away.
Yeah.
And man, I remember we first landed here and we were out beyond Walmart with our RV, and it was like blowing wind all the time. And I'm like, in red hot, it was costing me a fortune.
What are we doing here?
I'm like, this is not working. I'm like, man, if I could only, if you, and I prayed, I literally prayed, and I said, hey, if you could you find me a location where I can park my RV under two massive big trees so I can have
Shade.
a cooler, environment, because it was so brutal. And no joke, not even like 3 weeks later, the woman that I was chasing bringing me here, right, that I thought was, the only way I could find out if she was the real one or not, or whatever that is by being here. And once I got here, I found out pretty quickly that she was not. However,
But here it is.
I got into the place where we're at now. It's great, good price,
Love that.
a great scenario.
How long have you been here?
Since 21.
Oh, okay. Us too. Yeah.
So it's been a road. I mean, for the first 3 years, I don't don't really know what I did around here, to be honest with you. I mostly focused on my boys.
Me too.
And then putting them in the right places so they can start growing piano. And, we got a great piano teacher, and jiu-jitsu has been a big part of their life. We did therapy for a little while, but therapy wasn't enough.
Right.
There's something about jiu-jitsu that straightens your mind, and I've talked about that a bunch. I agree with that.
The martial arts, I studied martial arts in my early 20s. I did jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
Oh, wow.
And I trained at a boxing gym, and they had all the sorts, and so I just sort of dabbled in all of it. And there was something about the honing in of your mental state that because you can't just be out there doing anything. You really have to focus.
Very specific.
Yeah, and it really helped to clear my mind a lot. And so good for you with taking the boys into that. I love that.
Yeah. My 5-year-old he watched everything. He watched his mum go through the whole lot. She went from a healthy woman to us going out traveling. We went to England. We did stuff, like from the get-go with him. And once she was diagnosed, he saw everything, her tanking
deteriorate.
And she literally turned into Skeletor. Like, it was horrible,
hard to watch.
it's the most worst. Like, I had to put all the photos of that time in a folder, and I don't, like, every now and then I'll come across it and it's like, ugh, I don't want to remember her like that.
Right.
So I just do the best I can to keep it where it is. Yeah. She was an amazing woman, and everything that she's done for us is.
And you have 2 amazing kids out of it, and I love that sweet. For you.
They're very good kids.
Can't imagine. My husband lost his mom when he was about 9, and it was quite sudden and everything. And
we need to get you close to that mic. We're dropping out.
Okay, sorry. You were right when you said you get comfortable and you start sitting back.
Drag it out, grab it, and bring it to where you're comfortable.
But he talks about how it was hard to go through, right? And even like hospitals.
How old was he then?
He was about 9.
Oh, wow.
8 or 9. Yeah, and his older sister was around 12 and everything.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and Dad, had 2 young kids, and so he married probably within a year or 2 after but to a close family friend.
Great.
Like, they knew each other.
Yeah.
And she had 2 kids, and she's amazing. My mother-in-law is a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see, because my family's Brady Bunch, his family's Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
But the way we meshed our families together was very different. They've done an impeccable job of creating a real family out of all of it. And he's got now 3 sisters, and I always tell him, I'm so glad you were raised by a bunch of women, because you were just perfect to be a girl dad, He understands us and he gets us.
And you got 2 girls, right? So
2 girls.
All falls in line.
It does, and everything. But
no, there's something to be said about that, actually. I will say, I don't know how people can just move on so quickly. In my scenario, I don't. Okay, we were a part of the church. We left the church, right? And then everyone else went, oh. And the moment my wife died, everyone wiped their hands of me. And I'm including, I would say 98% of our friends together, I don't talk to them now. You know what I mean?
It's hard, I think, for some people.
Grieving is it's an interesting
get
one.
Through the discomfort of it and everything. It's very uncomfortable to be around somebody who is in the depths of grief.
You don't want to touch the grief. It might come to you.
But it's like right? It's a scary place. But I think it's a sad thing too. Yeah. Because you need it. You need all the support you can get in those times and everything.
Honestly, though, I'm not upset about it.
No.
I actually love to see people's true colors when things hit the fan, But I did notice, though, people that I have known for most of my life, like especially from Australia, there was like 2 to 3. I would say there's three women that had reached out to me. How's everything going? What's going on? And it was periodic, not at the same time. I don't do that. But I was just chatting with them, and there was options where if I did go home, I could have gotten married really easily.
Yeah.
I would have had someone that would have supported me. Mm-hmm. I was just not going to leave this cool place. I love America so much.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yes.
I love America too.
America is amazing. I can't even begin to I mean, I just once everything gets sorted up the upper end, I think everything's going to be really great for the people again, you know?
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, but I couldn't even get, like, you can't, when you're living in Australia, man, rent was like $800 a week.
Oh.
My rent now is $600. I
A
have
month.
2 lots, and that's a month.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky. Like, my landlord is so amazing. I'm so
Love
ever
that.
so thankful for what she's done for us. And having a place to land like we have, you know.
Mhm.
I'm definitely itching to get out of our scenario, is why I'm wanting to start an excavation company. And
Yeah.
so I'm in the thick of that right now. And
Nothing's a better driving force than true desire, right? Being content with where you're at is good, but being complacent is also not good. So
yeah.
driving and striving for something better. We spent the first 3.5 years here in a fifth wheel.
Okay.
With our 2 kids, and my husband still commutes back and forth from Vegas. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, and it's been almost 6 years now. But
So he's got a good job out there then, right?
yeah, and we could not do
Yeah.
here what he does there, and so
And that's pretty decent. I mean, it's not that far really. It's
really
5
not.
hours worth of driving there and back.
2.5 hours one way. So
Yeah.
he's in one day, back the next.
Oh, okay.
Back
So
there, he goes every other day ish.
Oh.
And so
Oh.
we see him every weekend. We're together all the time. During the summer, we go down to Vegas and spend a lot of time there, so he doesn't have to drive, just to relieve him.
You have a house
of
down
that.
there as well, or?
We rent a small condo, like a small 1-bedroom, and the kids sleep on air mattresses. But we lived in a fifth wheel
Yeah.
for 4 years. We can handle pretty much anything now.
I get it. I did upgrade the bathroom and everything for it.
Yeah.
You got to go, dude. I can't do this. I can't have my focus here and here. Please. Okay. Sorry, my son
You're-
keeps interrupting me.
you're
They're here
good.
today, so.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Like I updated. We had this tiny corner bathroom, a shower. I ripped that thing out, put a 4.5 foot tub, you know, a deep tub, so the kids could still have a
Yes.
bathtub.
Yeah.
I tiled it and then put a shower into it, and I do that sort of stuff. So
We had to adjust the bunks in their room. Like
Yeah.
we were campers for a very long time. That's how we ended up in Utah. All the camping spots were closed during COVID. We couldn't get away. So we decided we were just going to buy a small little plot of land, go put our fifth wheel on it, and leave it there. And we were there every weekend
wow.
through 2020, right? And
Yeah, it was a bit of a wild time for traveling and stuff, wasn't it?
yes, and Vegas was very difficult. My husband was considered essential, so he would work 18-hour days, 7 days a week for 3 months straight. And us girls didn't even leave the house. He would pick up our groceries on the way home. And I mean, we celebrated birthdays at 10 p.m. because that's when he got home, you know? And
Man.
it was,
What a good dude.
yeah, it was a really great bonding experience. Like we really learned to lean into each other and everything. But what started as camping turned into, hey, they got really good schools there.
Yeah.
He came home one day and he goes, if you don't mind living in the fifth wheel, and I can't tell you how long you'll live in it, but we can move there and everything. And I was like, I'm good with that. I can handle that. And so we traded in our little fifth wheel for the Taj Mahal. That's what I call it. It's like the biggest camping house you could get. We couldn't even tow it. We parked it, didn't move it for 4 years, and then sold it when we moved out. And we spent the time building a small home and putting the kids into school, and
Makes sense.
they're thriving.
It's and this is a great place to do it. It's funny how when you really are pressured and up against it, like to try and get into a house and you're renting a house, wake up. I challenge you. Go get in your, like, if you're showing up with the Jones, what do they say? They
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses. There you go.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Especially if you're renting and trying to get ahead in life. I would say get the most cheapest, most easiest.
Yep.
You know, and half people, get rid of your stuff.
We learn to do with a lot less because you just have to.
Biggest hoarders, man.
Yes.
Yeah. In this little town, and they call it a city, but it's a town. It's a country town. We have more. I would say we'd have probably
Storage
more
units?
storage garages per person here. Probably like 2.5 storage units per one. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're just a bunch of hoarders out there, and houses are getting bigger and way stupider, you know?
We moved our entire 2,500 square foot home into a 40-foot shipping container when we moved here. And then when the house was finally built and we moved in, it's been about a year and a half now. We moved it all out, right? If we didn't keep half of it.
Yeah.
If we hadn't seen it in 3.5 years.
You
So
don't
do
need
we
it.
really need it?
You don't need it.
So I did. I started just going through it all and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want my house to feel cluttered by all these things that we don't need anyway.
Yeah.
And
it's so true. Like
I'm a professional organizer. I want to get rid of things.
I want to talk to you about this because
Okay.
this is interesting. When my wife, whether the writing's on the wall, my wife's not doing good. We sold our place. We cleaned up everything, put it all in a storage. We rented a 40-foot tray, like a
The
container.
shipping containers, yeah.
Yeah, actually, a friend helped us out with that. He paid for it, which is amazing. We put all the stuff in there, and he said, just you get through what you got to get through. When you guys are out the other side, come and get it.
Okay.
You know, so we threw everything in there. That goes away. My wife dies. I'm over here. And then he calls me up 3 years later. He's like, hey, man, what are you doing?
Still got your
I'm
stuff.
broke. I'm living off $13.75 a month.
Oh.
Trying to survive, which is
And
you're not
raise two
surviving.
boys.
And raising 2 boys.
Yeah.
I cook everything from scratch. We never eat out. We never get the chance to. And every time we go to eat out now, we all get sick because we're so used to eating good food.
Yes.
I've lost weight. Like I feel
It'll
really
do it
good.
to you. Yeah.
You know, but I moved it all down, kept it in the storage container for another year, and I started selling bits off it. You know, trying to survive, and you know, all the good bits that I could sell, I sold, and I got down to stuff that's more personal, I suppose. It's probably you can't really sell it. I moved it out of there because I can't afford to do that anymore, and I bought the lot. Well, I rent the lot beside me, and I put a fence around it and put a like one of those tarp garage things, you know, the 20 by 13 or whatever it is. So any moment it could rip apart and destroy everything. Who knows? But
it's there.
It's there, and it's full of my wife. Like it was full completely. I took a photo of it once, and I'm so ashamed of it. One day I'm going to post it so you guys can see how bad it was. I don't like anyone coming to my place. Like I
don't do before and afters in my own place.
I've got junk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it's just sitting there, and I'm getting to the point now where this has just got to go. So I've worked out. I'm doing a storage wall where you can put the 27-gallon totes in.
Yeah.
So once I get that built, I'll be able to pack down all my wife's stuff and put it in there, and then slowly grab a tote out at a time and nix it.
Go through it.
You know what I mean? But I'm
keep
trying
only the absolute most important things, sentimental things, because there are some things that your sons will want from her when they get older. But I mean, my mom gave me this box from when I was young, and it had every report card, every paper I ever wrote, art things that I did when I was a little girl. And like, I appreciate that she found value in it. I did not keep hardly any of it. There were a couple things that I, took a snapshot of it, and I was like, my college, report cards and stuff from that. And I was just like, I just can't, I don't need it anymore.
Well, that's the thing is like, she's not in that stuff, man. You know, B, they don't even know. Like, this stuff means more to me than them. Right. You know, and there's a couple of little knickknacks here that I've kept and have incorporated in the house. But now that I'm looking at half the stuff that I've got, it's just a bane of my existence.
Just it taking all needs up space.
To go. Yeah. The other thing too, the first Christmas we had when my wife was diagnosed with cancer, the whole neighborhood, church, all like fantastic people, they all showed up with gifts for toddlers or babies and stuff. So I've got so much baby stuff there, it's ridiculous.
That can just straight to DI.
yeah, right? Yeah.
That's what I tell the kids, because my youngest especially, she has a very hard time getting rid of things. She loves all of her things. And my oldest has so many stuffies, I can't even count anymore. And she goes, but this one, and she has a story for every single one of them, right? And I was like, yeah, but you have to understand that if you can at least find some of them to go, some other little kid's going to be able to create new stories with them, you know, and everything. And so I try to encourage them to think about who's receiving it on the other side of it, and the good that you're doing by doing so.
Be a part of the Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We would every Thanksgiving, because Black Fridays follows immediately after, Christmas follows immediately after that, and everything. So every Thanksgiving we would go through the entire playroom, and we would have 3 boxes, and one's just junk, trash, like broken toys, things like that. But they had to make the decision what goes in each box and what goes and what stays. And that was always the conversation. We're grateful for this, right? Because it's a day of gratitude. Thanksgiving's supposed to be all about thanks, right? So I'm grateful that I had my time with this, but I don't need it anymore. It's
time to go.
Right? Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's been a good process for us.
It's probably better than me yelling and screaming at my kids, you guys got to chuck stuff out.
Oh, they leave, and I spend the day going through their things and pull out things that I know they're not going to notice and stuff. But
yeah.
I tell them too, if you treat it like it's special, I'll know it's special.
I actually say that too. I'm not seeing you looking after this thing, man.
No,
it's got to go.
Balled up on the floor. Like, that doesn't look special. That looks like it's junk, right? And so to me, I see it, and it's just cluttered and trash. And so it's time to go.
So, and like the other thing too, I'm thinking of, right, like, as far as my wife's stuff, like I think I've got all of the clothing. Some of the shoes and things I gave back to her family to divide up, and I've still got more stuff to go back to them, to be honest with you. There's lots of church stuff that doesn't mean anything to me. Boys won't understand it. I know they'll understand it better than I do. So once I get to that point, I'm going to get rid of that stuff that way. But I was thinking about like all her shirts and things, and I was thinking about making blankets out of it or something,
I think that's a wonderful idea. There's a lot of services that will do that for you, especially if Etsy. Go on Etsy. There's services that allow you to send a whole bunch of T-shirts. There's one that'll turn them into like little teddy bears or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
There's so many ways that you can transform sentimental clothing into something more than just a box full of clothes.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I love the quilt idea though.
Yeah, I think so. Like she had long hair. A friend of ours that works at Hale Center Theatre, where my wife got her hair, but she was working there too. They still have the hair there. Oh. Yeah, so it's like when eventually I might get it split in two and then like do a braid like that they can just hang up. I don't know what to do with it, but
something sentimental.
Yeah, just her hair was so beautiful.
The one thing we would always say is, what purpose is it in a box, right?
Yeah.
Like I have one box that has old pictures in it and everything, and it's not serving any purpose there, right? The goal is to either make it a memorabilia thing, right? Put it in a shadow frame on the wall, or turn it into a quilt or something like that, or there's really no point in having it. Because I'm not going through that box. I haven't been through that box in 10 years. Right. And so, but I do I think it's important to also allow yourself a box. Like if you've got the space for it, a box is not going to hurt you.
I don't know if I got the space, but I have my hit list of things. I have a little tiny shrine on top of my little cupboard up the top. A couple of people have said, why do you have that? It's creepy. It's like, it's not creepy. She's a beautiful woman, and she's the love that you're experiencing is from her. So
we have an entire cabinet for all the people we love that are no longer here.
I love that. And
it starts with, his dad passed away 3 months before we got engaged.
Oh,
and
wow.
so we have a place for him, Baba, which is grandma in Ukrainian. We have a spot for her, a spot for my grandma, and so
that's funny you say Baba. In Poland they say babcia.
Yeah, babcia. That's that would be your mother's mom. Baba will be your father's mom.
Oh, wow.
That's how they distinguish.
They're very similar languages, aren't they?
Eastern European.
Right beside each other.
Yeah, most people will ask me if I'm Polish before they ask if I'm Ukrainian.
Wow, because of the last name?
Mm-hmm.
No, nice. My grandma, when she went over to Australia, they showed up and they were living in tents, and and there was a big lot of them, and once a week they would all ride their bicycles up to Warragamba Dam from Penrith, which is like driving 4 hours, like maybe 2 hours in a car, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So up a massive hill, up into the mountains. So they would be gone a whole week. And then when they come back on Friday, they'd get back late Friday night, and they'd get sleep, and they'd wake up the next morning, and then all of the workers that just went up and built Warragamba Dam, they would all go everyone would buy their land. If someone had land, boom, they would build them a house. And then they would go to the next one. And the whole community came together to do that.
Yep.
That just hits me where it's like, why do we not do that now?
Well, that's what his community was. So my husband grew up in upstate New York, Rochester area.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I have friends up there.
And there's a massive Ukrainian culture there. There's a great community of Ukrainians there. And you see that there too. Everybody's, supporting each other and taking care of each other. And I think that's a lot of the reason why his dad was able to remarry as quick as he did.
Yes.
It wasn't that he got over it. He was just supported, and everyone was there for him. And through that, he found what he needed to get through.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were married, oh gosh, long time, 50 years.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I went back to Australia, there was 2 women that I really adore, and I don't talk to actually one of them. I don't know why my Facebook page got deleted and I had to restart a new one. So I lost contact with her, but this other one, her name's Tony. I probably would have ended up with her, and that would have been great. Like, they're great people.
I have the opinion that sometimes once you've experienced marriage, it's maybe best to not again.
Really?
Not so much that you shouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't, unless my kids were grown and out of the house. There's no way. If something were to happen to him today, I would not even consider anybody else until my kids were grown and out of the house. Mostly because of my childhood and my experiences with...
You'd be surprised, though, if you came across a really good dude and he just took control and just took...
I would not want anyone else to father my kids.
You must be a really strong woman.
I like to think so.
I would love... I live every day with the hope of maybe one day I might run into her. Maybe one day someone good will come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. And I would love for my kids to have a kid.
And I hope for that for you too. I agree. I don't want to discourage others.
No.
I just know from my experience in life, I wouldn't...
That seems like a therapy thing right there.
It is a therapy thing. It's a trust issue.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't trust many people. It takes a lot to get into my circle and my bubble. Like, I don't have a lot of secrets. I have nothing to hide. But I've been taken advantage of too many times in my life to trust anybody from the get. And so
this is what I've come to with relationships. I've dated a lot of people. And I know when to shut things down pretty quickly. And I put it down to 3 months. Right? 3 months.
Within 3 months.
Well, I think when you first meet someone.
I agree with
that. I think when you first meet someone. When I first met Annie, I was actually in another marriage. And I met my wife, like my late wife. And as soon as I met her, I was like, wow, she is so dedicated to who she is. She's so good with her trade, and she just shined as an upstanding citizen.
Right, somebody you wanted to be about.
Yeah, and then we became friends, and I'm like, oh man, every time we ran into each other, we would just talk, and then I walk away like, oh man, I might be with the wrong one. I might be the wrong one. You know what I mean? And that life for me, my first wife, she was fantastic for what it was. And then we fell out of love, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, that's what it was. But I didn't have my priorities set. I never took time away from work to be with her.
I guess you were very young.
I was young. I was in my 20s, late 20s. And that only lasted for like 4 years. But I mean, Annie and I would have been together forever. But when her and I started dating, we just went to all these places. One of the best things you could ever do is go to like a fun park and like play air hockey and stuff like that. See how they go when you beat them. See how you go when they beat you.
Oh my God, my husband would have the best story for you. He loves telling the SeaWorld story.
Go for it.
So we met in February. Our first date was February 29th. Actually, it was a leap year. And mid-May, I guess it was March, he was like, hey, you want to take a trip with me? I was like, sure. And so he planned it for mid-May, and we went down to San Diego and went to SeaWorld. And you know the carnival games where you throw the basketball and you like never make it in the hoop and everything, right?
They're too hard, yep.
Yeah, and they bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. Well, he tried it and he didn't make it, and we were about to leave, and I was like, well, can I try, and I'm not athletic, please don't get me wrong. I have no skills. And he's like, yeah, go for it. And so I still have it, the shamu that I won by making this shot. And we had the whole crowd around us cheered, and he will tell you every day about that story, how amazing it was, how I got it in and he couldn't get it in there. And yeah, it was a great story.
So he was proud that you actually dominated in that scenario.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
I love powerful women. Like I love a woman that can stand up for herself.
Yeah.
I love a woman that has massive goals. I want someone to meet my goals, or at least so we can exchange goals together and grow together. You know what I mean? Like I have a very
They have to understand where you're headed. And if they're headed in a direction, they'll understand that you are too.
Yeah.
And it takes an immense amount of support in order to hit your goals. You can't do it by yourself, especially when you're raising kids. I just, not long back, I mean, it was a little while ago, I suppose. I've been in an off and on thing, and she's an amazing person. I absolutely love her, and I don't know, maybe, but it's been 3 years and it's been off and on, and like in me, which is the hardest thing, because there's so many boxes that she ticks, but in me it's like, do I want my goals? Because if I do, I'm probably not going to achieve them with this person, right?
And that crushes my soul.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh man, but she's so there.
My husband's boss told him when we first started dating, because I worked in produce and he worked in meat, and we shared a building. We didn't technically work for the same company, so I wasn't technically breaking my number one rule as to not date people that you work with. So we did not technically work together, and his boss was like, I don't think you should be doing this, this is going to be not good for your long-term goals, right? And he's like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, good.
And I'm really glad.
Good. Because honestly, that's your bubble.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's where it's at.
And he will be the first to tell you that the success that he has had is we have had. The fact that I was on our first date. I told him I'm a career woman. This is what I'm going to do. I am doing all of these things, and there's nothing going to stop me. And within 2 years, I no longer had a job, married, and starting to have kids.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much that my goals have changed, because even now, like, they're old enough that I can start a business and be a career woman still and everything. But they got the best years with me at home. And I got to support him spending the time he needed to get to where he wanted to, so that we could even live this life.
I love that.
We wouldn't be here without how hard he works, right?
Yeah.
And so,
but you're at home. I mean, even now, you're still supporting him from a distance, which is not easy, man.
No.
It's not easy to be away from home.
I don't know how we're doing what we're doing, to be quite honest.
How long has it been
now? How long have we been in this?
Doing this?
Going on 6 years. Almost, 5.
5 years, yeah.
Solid 5.
When you yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, part-time parenting, being a single married mom, like somebody made that comment to me, oh man, how's it being a single mom? And I was like, I'm not a single mom. I've got a great husband, and like, yeah, but you spend Monday through Friday doing all the things and everything. It's like, but he is still there.
He's doing it in a really good way. Like he's there every other day.
Every other day.
That's amazing.
He is a phone call away. Yeah. He will never. in fact, if he misses my call, the first thing he says, I'm so sorry I missed your call.
I love that.
Or if the kids call him, he never misses their call, which
Love that.
I can appreciate too. And he's always available to us.
Yeah.
If they have a program at school, he takes the day off and he works remote, and he makes it work. He makes us feel supported, even though he's not necessarily right here all the time.
Perfect.
Especially in growing a business. I have needed his support and encouragement because it's not easy. And I remember last summer, the business was really starting to take off, and I could really see a lot of potential in the direction it was headed. And I told him, I was like, it's early enough, right? That if it started to affect our family. I started to spend more time away, I had a weekend event or something, and he would always be okay with it, but it was uncomfortable for the entire family for me to all of a sudden not have my priorities just around the house. I told him, I was like, it's early enough. I can back out. I won't have my feelings hurt. Like we can, I don't have to be doing this. And he's like, no, I think you should. I think we're in a place where you can, and everything. And so I dug in deep, and a year later, I can't even believe where we are.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a couple of thoughts to what you're saying. Is I'll say this one thing about what my wife, when she first had our first kid, I was away working at the time, and she had a very scary complication with him being inside of her. 6 weeks early, he was his heart rate was dropping and all the rest of it. So it was a really bad scenario, and they were just going to send us home and not do nothing about it. So I raced home as quick as I could, in hospital for a week. Finally, everything came to head, and the doctor's like, well, we don't know what to do. So she has a contraction, and it's like as if his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck or something. And that would just really scared her. Anyway, they were going to send us home. I pulled the doctor, said, I think this is probably the time where you say we're going to extract, and then we'll put him in the NICU. It was right, and they did, thank goodness. But then,
good for you for being there to support her.
I tell you, man, I would not. She supported me through all my. I had dreams of being a Hollywood star or whatever, trying to be an actor and stuff like that. And I was working so hard to do that, and she supported me through all of it. So I even said to her, I said, no babies until we're ready. And then we got to a certain point, and she's like, can we have babies? It's like, you know what? Yeah, I think we should. And then it happened pretty quickly after that. But then when we came back here, I said, okay, we're done with LA. This is too expensive. Let's go home. You go to your mum and dad's house. I'll go sleep on a couch. I'm going to get us out of debt, and we'll rebuild, And within a year, I had us all back together again. But coming into, because when we went back, she had a baby on the way, and it was early stages of that. So she calls me up when it's about 6 weeks away from his birth, and she calls me up, and I'm working in Colorado for Tesla at the time. And I had such a humongous career with Tesla, and I was climbing, and they were already talking about do all sorts of things as part as a general manager to manager over areas, which was amazing. And I was like, wow, this is a really cool job, but I'm not seeing my family. There was times, man, where I didn't see them for 3 weeks, which are not great. She called me up one day. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry to ask this. And I was like, well, what's up? And she says, I think I need you to come home. So could you please consider it? And I'll wait patiently for the next few weeks until you make that decision up. And I said, okay, well, I got to go. I'll call you back. Hung up, told my manager, I'm out. I said, I have paternity leave. I'm going to take it now. He's like, we really need you. I'm like, I'm going to take it now. He says, well, he tried to talk me out of it.
Of course.
And I'm like, you know what, man? That woman chased my dreams while I was failing at it for such a long time.
Yeah. And companies aren't going to think that. They're going to think profits over people.
They don't care.
And so...
and you're right. You're absolutely right. He goes, well, you're making a big mistake, and we're just about to offer you this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. And then, but within an hour, I had a ticket bought for that night. I called her back, and I said, I'm on my way home. I'll be home tonight.
Good for you.
And she was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. It's like, no.
But it's what you do. Me. You show up when you need to, and you are there when they need you. And I think that's what has made it even possible that we're doing what we're doing. And it's not, the first 3 years, he lived with his mom.
Oh, wow.
Because we didn't have the condo at the time. And so she took us in. Every time we would come visit, we bombarded her house with all of us. And she never batted an eye. She lovingly supported us through the whole thing. And we couldn't have done it without her. The support of the family, and everybody thought we were crazy, and we were. But
and you usually are.
yeah, but we're successful because of that support.
That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did those things, because now looking back at it, it's like, whoa. Now I'm starting to get to the point where I think I know how to be the right man for the right woman, And I'm really like right now. I think in my prayers are, I hope she's in her 30s. I hope we can have babies. I love kids, man.
My husband will tell you. So our first date, he's 12 years older than me. And
perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was 38 when we met, and I was just turning 27. And he's like, I remember praying. It was the first question he asked on our first date. And he goes, it's the rudest question, but I have to ask because I looked really young for my age too. How old are you? When I told him that I was 27, he's like, oh, that is
perfect.
Exactly the age that I told God that I wanted you to be, or wanted my girl to be, or whatever, and everything. And it's good to put out there what your hopes are in a person. You're much more likely to actually find that person. Yeah. But also, you can tend to get more than what you asked for. I asked for the same. I wanted, because I was dating men my age at the time, 26, and 26-year-olds are 26. And so
they finally worked out what they wanted to do with it. Now they know what to do with it. Now they know how to break that mold, and they're absolute masters at cracking that safe.
I call him a boy because he was the last boy I dated before I met my husband. He made me pay for our dates, or at least for myself. Wow. He made me pay for myself. And I was like, it's not that I have to be taken care of, and it's not that I have all these expectations, but it'd be nice if they were willing, and it was just never like that. And then from the start, he was opening car doors and opening doors, and, the chivalry is not dead kind of thing. And he's still that way today.
Oh, I love this. Yes.
Yeah. And so it made me realize that the quality of person,
I love that. I will add to a little bit of that, right? The one thing that with my late wife, I never had an agenda. And if I did have an agenda, it would have been, I want to get married. I want a permanent thing in my life that we can grow together, and I want to achieve my goals. That
was his agenda. And even on the first date, he said, this can scare you away, and I'm good with that, but I don't just date. Mm-mm. I'm looking for somebody to spend my life with. And he had been divorced 4 years prior to that. Luckily, no kids or anything. But he's like, I've been there. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just date. I don't want to get divorced again either. So it's like, I'm really looking for the right person. Yeah. And I respected that on so many levels, because that's where I was. I didn't just want to date. I was looking to settle down and find my life and everything. And so it's nice to have somebody actually say that.
No, when the guy shows up with the right intentions, there won't even be a conversation about doing fun things, and it was never on my agenda. Like, sure, the one thing I look at now, and if someone comes at me with, hey, we could go have some fun, it's like, you know what, man, I think this could work because pieces work together. Right? Yeah. They're made to work together.
Right.
Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And for me to be really able to enjoy that, I have to know that person so well.
Connection.
Yeah. Like I've had a couple of people reach out like, hey, do you have any itches? Can I scratch them for you? And I'm like, I would love that, but no. Thank you so much. And and I think it's the best way to do it. Like I have my boundaries, and I'm setting them straight. I have many goals I'm chasing, so I'm not bored. You know what I mean? Like I go.
I don't need to just have fun.
by
Got
10
a lot of
o'clock
fun.
at night, I am exhausted. I am so exhausted. I get my kids to bed. Sometimes I put them to bed at 8:30. I'm in bed by 9. I like to watch a thriller show or something like that, something cool. I'm watching this thing Severance right now, which is crazy. But, I'll do an hour, and by the end of that hour, I've wound down off my phone for over an hour or whatever that is, and that's put away, and everything else, now my mind's like, all right, we're good. And for the first time in my whole entire life, I'm sleeping. You know what I mean? I still wake up early. Like I get up at 5 or whatever. And I texted you this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? She's either going to have it down or she's going to see it and she's going to understand it. I just wanted to make sure that you knew where you were coming today.
I'm up at 5 and I'm to bed at midnight. The nights that he's home, like the old routine falls in so easily, where we put the kids to bed and then we're up for an hour and then we go to bed, right?
Yeah.
But nights he's not home.
It's hard.
I build business. I'm basically the kids. Well, it's been summer too, so they go to bed at 10 o'clock and I'm still up till midnight. But I would put them to bed at 7:30 for school, 8 o'clock at the latest, and then I'm still up till midnight building business and everything. And so I am. I don't get a lot of sleep.
Oh, I feel you.
I wish I did.
Yeah, I try not to do business stuff in the nighttime. It just drains me.
Yeah.
Like I did a little bit last night. I'm trying to get this new system up and running for my podcast, but it's just going to have to take time every day to do it. Plus I'm doing my general contracting. I'm working through the general contracting book right now, and that's a lot. And it's a lot to go through, So it's, for me, I really need that sleep.
It's important.
Yeah.
It really is.
And if I ever can, I get a nap into the daytime. That's amazing.
I love a nap.
Yeah, naps are fantastic.
I have a hard time going from 0 to 100 and then 100 to back to a 0. So napping is very hard. I'm tired if I nap.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's what I've gone out, like I'll do on the side. I'm doing DoorDash, which is the most stupidest thing in the whole wide world. Guys, if you're using DoorDash, please tip your drivers. It's not fun. And you know what? They on those apps, like Uber has just resorted back to everything now. They'll pay you $1.50 for whatever run they give you, and they take the tip and add that as that's their offer. Oh, this one's $10, but most of that is tip.
Oh, okay.
I think that is so rude, you know?
Be straightforward.
So, no, well, it's just like, I think there should be a standard. Tips should be for free. Like, tips are thanks for doing it. Tips aren't please do it,
Right.
And that to me is really, I think that those guys running those companies, you guys need to adjust yourself. Hell's coming for you, mate. Hades is going to be there, right? But once you pass away, they're going to see everything you've done. There's a big checklist waiting for you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And I'll get off my soapbox right now. But I'm so mad about it, because you're ripping these little guys off. Most people I'm out there doing DoorDash with, they got these junker cars barely going.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And mine's not even great too, It's
but they're doing everything that they can just to get by. And, it's college students trying to pay for books. It's parents trying to get their kids into jiu-jitsu and things like that. And so I spent a great deal of my younger 20s in the food industry and restaurants and stuff like that. And so I have a really big belief in tipping well.
I like that.
I even, it has to be really bad for me not to tip.
Yeah.
Or at least not tip the standard bit. You've done well when I go above, because I believe the biggest way to show appreciation to somebody is creating value to them, right?
And giving them the freedom to choose where they want to put their money.
Yeah, in service, creating value is by paying someone, right? Paying them a proper wage, paying them a proper tip and everything. If you can't afford it, don't do it, right? And so...
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So tell me, let's just jump back just a little bit to as you were growing up and you're discovering who you are. You said you went through some down times there, and your standards in life were a little bit different to what they were, where they are now.
Yeah.
How did you pull yourself out of that sort of stuff? Like what was it? Because like we said, it's an ocean liner turning in a bay, and it takes forever. So what were your baby steps along that, if you don't mind?
I found faith. That was a big deal to me. I lived in a lot of shame for a lot of years because of...
That's horrible.
Yeah, I could get choked up. But understanding that I am not held by the chains of my past mistakes is very freeing.
Yeah.
And I don't have to live in the shame of the things that I've done. Because like I said, I know what it means to hurt people. I've done a good deal of that. And I've spent a lot of time reflecting on my behavior. And because I can blame who I am on a lot of people, but ultimately I am the one making the choices in my life. And I'm the one who decides how other people affect me. And I think that realization is key, that ownership of who I am is a big deal. And so I can sit here and say I've been this person and I am this person now, and I still have a lot of growth ahead of me. Yeah. But knowing that I'm forgiven is a huge deal for me, because
I love that too.
It'd be very heavy if not. And so
I hint when I joined the LDS church with my wife, and as we were going into me being baptized, and her brother did that, I believe. Going into it, I was so super prayerful. And I literally wrote the hit list of the things that I was ashamed of, the things that I wouldn't tell no one out there. They ain't great, man. They ain't great. You know,
I've done a lot of bad things.
I used to be not a great person. But I mean, it's not like, at the core, I've always been good, but I've always known, I have a thing, I call it "No, you do right" is written as a coat of arms on my heart. Yeah. No, you do right.
Yeah.
So every time I've done wrong, I know I've been less than, and that's just been hard, and you're approaching those things, and it's not great. But then seeing that the atonement and everything, it's like, oh wow, that was a relief, And I don't honestly know if it was just that. I mean, I put a lot of weight on that for me, because I really needed to wash out the back end and just get it gone. It needs to go. It needs not follow me anymore. Yeah. And I've had a hard time, but it's like as you get older and you learn from it.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
It is.
And it's the best thing you could do is just be a little more free, a little more easier on yourself.
My sister asked me. It was not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, she was out visiting, and we experienced a lot of the same traumas growing up, and abuse and all the different things. And she took a very different path than I did. She slightly more destructive. I was the youngest of 4. So I watched all of my siblings make all these choices, and I'm like, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do that. And so I had a natural way of learning through others' mistakes. But she asked me how I've come to terms with it all, with our childhood and all of the things that had happened. And just understanding my worth is not based in my past. It is I'm loved regardless of all of those things. And it's taken a lot of prayer. Yeah. Really. And she wasn't, and I even told her, I was like, I don't think you're going to like my answer. Because at the time she wasn't really into the whole faith thing. She's like, oh, that's your thing. That's not my thing. Right. And I was like, okay, well, that's my answer, and everything. And a year and a half later, she calls me, she goes, oh man, I prayed on it. And I was like, yes, you got it, girl. And she is finding her peace, and because peace is not easy to come by. No. And you can still be in the midst of a lot of chaos. Like, I feel like our life is still very chaotic, right? And what we're doing, what we're choosing to do here is extremely chaotic, but it's very peaceful. Like, we don't live in a state of frenzy or anxiety or, that's probably what's tripped our family out the most, is how quickly we make our decisions around it. November 15th, he came home mentioning that we should go. January 1st, we moved. Wow. Like, we can make decisions like that. We don't second guess ourselves and everything. Good. But it's because we lead with the peace that comes only from him. And
this is what I tell people that don't pray and they don't have any inch in that game whatsoever, right? The one thing that it's science has proven that our body is listening to us no matter what we do, and there's like a kabillion cells or whatever it is, little tiny atoms are all just like, what's happening, master? You know what I mean? Oh man, I feel sick. Guess what? You're really going to feel sick now. You know what I mean? Even if you're faking it, whatever the case is. But you know, I me and my boys, we don't go to church. I mean, if I suppose we're part of any church, I'm sure we're a part of LDS church, but we don't. It's not a thing. But we pray every night, you know, and
I'm great in faith. I don't attend church. I don't think it's required. I in our family, we live by the phrase, where two or more gather in my name, there I am.
Done.
And so when we come together and we talk about him and we reflect on the way he is good in our life and we're grateful for what he is doing and we break bread together and pray together and all of that, then we are in our own little church and without the expectations that come with a community church. Like I think it's really good for a lot of people.
Sure.
I think there was a time in my life I really needed it. I've also been greatly hurt by the church. And so I can't say that. Probably
not the church itself, probably the people around the church.
It's always the people. It's always people. But that's what church is. Church is people. People, it doesn't have to be a building and it doesn't have to be a place. Yeah. It is truly community and who gather in the name of, right?
Yeah, I love that.
And so,
I mean, our prayers are pretty wild. So every now and then I'll let someone listen to how I pray or whatever, and they're like, "Wow, that's different." I'll start off with like, "Dear God, spirit guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, and our late mama bear, Annie Lyman Birdsey, we love ya." You know, it just.
All of it.
Yep. And it just ties it together. But like I say, if you don't believe out there or whatever, I mean, honestly, man. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I can tell you one thing. I know that someone is helping me somewhere because I can't do this on my own. I've had so many amazing things happen since we've been in this town. And every single night we're praying, and whenever we have a goal, we've decided on a goal as a family. We're going to do this. Boom, we start praying. I mean, it's even like we started praying at the start of the summer. We need to get out of our situation. And then a guy had a thing up. We have dirt bikes and stuff, and we haven't even taken them out yet, which is so sad. We just didn't have a truck to do it. And I found a truck really, really cheap, and then this guy sold it to me for peanuts. He said, "Good luck getting it going, mate. It's a junker. You know, we got it out of the field. It's an F350. Oh. It's a 1980s F350, untitled. So I'm going through that right now, which the state of Utah told me that it's worth $14,700. This is a junker. Like honestly, if it could get me through, like if I can put a new,
can motor, I just have the cash
like,
then?
You guys can give me that money. You take the truck. I'm
Absolutely.
Good. But that showed up, and then straight after, a couple of things led to, hey, remember what it was like when you did the excavating thing? A couple of people called me, hey, you still doing the excavating thing? I'm like, man, we made really good money. And I was like, oh, wait a second. Oh, I've got a truck that could probably pull one of those. And I'm like, oh, wait. And then my buddy, he's like, hey, if you want to do it, I'll help you get into it. Yeah. So and this guy doesn't lend money to no one, you know what I mean? Like, but he's my best friend, you know what I mean? And he's been there.
Good to have those.
While going through all of it, and he's like, dude, if you can go get your contractor license, go get it, find a trailer, get that truck running. At the end of it, I'll grab you an excavator, and you can pay for it. And we'll see if we can get you guys out of that RV and into a house. You know?
I love that.
And I mean,
I'm praying for you.
I mean, I'm praying for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really hoping that it works out. Yeah. I mean, I was really hoping the title show up yesterday. It shows up as, hey, you owe us $14,000. You know, like in taxes and all. It's like, wait a second, this truck ain't worth that. You know what I mean? So now I have to prove that it's not worth it, which I'm on that route right now. But
words speak life.
Yeah.
So we do that in our house too. If you have a goal, we like to tell each other our goals so that we can hold each other accountable. Yep. And you speak life into that goal, you know, and then it's how you speak to others. Yeah. How you speak to yourself. Like I was treated poorly as a child, right? So like my self-esteem was really low growing up, and I spoke to myself really poorly. And even now I struggle, you know, with self-doubt and all of that. And I know I'm a confident person. I know I can do these things. And I tell myself that. That's why I say it that way too. I know I can do this, because too often those habits of telling myself certain things when I was young, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, they're going to think I'm crazy. Oh, they're, you know, or Too much. I've been told since I was little, I'm too much. You're too much. Oh, you're just too much. Settle down, right?
Yeah. I was told that a lot too.
Now, like, my life is being too much. Events are always too much. That's the whole point of doing it, right? Is to go out there and make it everything that it could be. And so I tell my kid, my youngest, oh, I love her. She's amazing. She is so confident and full of life and everything. And when she was an infant, weeks old, her nickname was Demanda, because she knew what she wanted and she wanted it right now, and you were going to listen to her. And I tell her all the time, I was like, that I know what I want, I'm gonna get it. Attitude is really good for you. We're just gonna hone it into being productive and being nice, because you can say, go do this, please, and it sounds so much better than just go do this, right? And so we're learning to hone in those skills, but it's we all have our little too much. It's just about realizing that God made you that way for a reason, and that it can be used for good if you train it up to be, right? You touched on a couple of things here, and I want to unpack this as well. Growing up, I was told the same thing. I was always too much. Man, you just got to stop. I got to stop, blah, 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 But even as we hear those things, and as we're younger going through life, we remember when you were young and you're looking at the older person that just didn't care anymore. And he would say something, maybe it's wacky, maybe, he's a bit fruity, but he just doesn't care. Right.
I never really understood that until I got to this point where now I'm like, I don't care. So I think it's so relieving, and it just, because you're always thinking, oh, do I look this way? Should I lean like this? Should I do this?
Well, I adjust myself all the time.
You're always adjusting yourself as you're younger, just to try and fit in, or trying not to stand out, or whatever the case is. And as you get older, if you're older and you have goals, man, you just let everything go, and that's how it should be. Period in life,
That's where I've had to get to, because I wouldn't be able to start a business being in the same mindset that I was before, caring what people think or things like that. I'm not, the fact that I'm even here, I'm not a public speaker. And I joined BNI. It's a networking group here in town just about a year ago. Right. To promote the business and everything. And the first time I stood up, I darn near cried, because I had to speak for 30 seconds about my business. That's it. All I had to do was say who I was, what company I represented, and what we did, right? And I'm like terrified. Yeah. But a year later, it's progressed me in my business. I've had to learn to just... They're not sitting there they're all doing the same thing. Half of them are just as nervous as I am, know? And so I got to think less about what they're thinking and more about the goal and the reason I'm here.
How can you help them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a service that's a great service too, which, that's I think the BNI group, that's the same. I think James Jordan is in that too, right? The guy that runs...
That's how we met, actually, is through that.
Yeah, he runs Iron Kids. Anyone out there sort of curious? I've had him on the podcast, and it was a great one too. He's got a great story.
He does.
Tell me, so like, how did you guys get into, like, you guys have got an event coming up too soon, right? What is that called?
Yeah, Iron Kids Spectacular on August 22nd. It's a circus-inspired community festival. Yeah. It's going to be great. I met James and Jamie back in January. For the first time. I was planning a different event, and I was attending their group that day, and we were just talking about what they do and their organization and everything, and kind of their struggles with all of it, in terms of funding. Yeah. They are primarily grant-based funded, as well as donations, and donations are very one-off. Somebody donates here, somebody donates there, but you can't rely on them. And grants are great. They definitely fill gaps, but they aren't reliable either, as we saw last summer in Minnesota, when there was all that fraud in Minnesota. Iron Kids got a lot of their funding frozen. And it wasn't released until well after the fact that it should have been, and money got tight. right? And
Wow.
and they have payroll to hit, and they've got 10 schools that they service. And with an average of 30 kids that's 300 kids that would be without if they didn't have the funding, right?
Wow.
And so I'm just talking to them. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do something about this. This is not okay. And so I told them, I was like, the best thing you could do is a fundraiser, and I could do that for you, And so it took about 4 months to come up with the concept and come together aligned on the mission and everything. So in April, we really started hunkering down and planning this event, and it's going to be so amazing. We've got live entertainment coming from Colorado of the circus variety. So jugglers and unicyclists and aerialists and magicians and all sorts of stuff, all included with your admission in. We have what we're calling the midway, everything within this certain portion, because it's at Willow Glen in Enoch. And Willow Glen is this beautiful piece of property with all these massive trees and these little green grassy knolls and all these little corners. And we're filling the whole place with fun and games for kids and food trucks and entertainment, right?
So I had no idea what this was. I saw the flyer for it.
Yes.
And excuse me, the flyer looks like a crazy circus parade, something nuts.
It is a little crazy.
And then my brain went to like, oh, it's like a silent auction night, something.
I don't know. One of those too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then to hear all this, wow, this is amazing. I had no idea that James was going through that last year too. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that they would typically have shared with most people, but I have a way of getting things out of people.
But if you have a way of helping, that's probably where it's at.
Exactly. And so we've really just thrown everything at this. There is a silent auction. We've got some great local businesses that have donated a few small items. It's not a large silent auction by any means, but any little chance we can to raise funds for them, we're going to. The ticket sales are where it's at. We've got sponsors to cover the planning and everything, but people show up and Iron Kids earns funding. So that's really all we're looking for, is the community to come have some fun and enjoy themselves. And
how much are the tickets?
$15 for kids.
That's not bad.
And $20 for adults.
Okay.
The Midway has somewhere around 14 different games and activities, all included.
I've never even heard of this place. What is this?
The location or the festival? The location has been here a very long time. Willow Glen is a beautiful piece of property out in Enoch. Iron Kids Spectacular, this is our inaugural year. So it's our very first year doing this. And it is unlike anything Cedar has seen before. And I think that was the key. We didn't want to just put on another festival that has vendor booths where everybody just walks around and people are selling things and you're just sort of there, right? We wanted it to be something that drew in the community that you experience, and you leave going, wow, I can't wait until next year. I can't wait to do this again.
Wow.
And so all those games that you get to play are a little arcade style, in the sense that if you win, ring toss, you get a little ticket, and you can take your tickets to the ticket booth and get prizes, trade them in for prizes, kind of like you would at an arcade.
Right.
And then the entertainment factor, and we just wanted it to be different. Was
this your idea?
My business partner at the time and I came up with the concept behind it. But yes, we just wanted it to be different. Yeah. And circus is so fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they've died out. Like, they're not like they used to be.
Yeah. We don't have any live animals or anything like that.
Fine. We don't need animals.
But we tried to bring in all the aspects of a circus without it actually being a circus.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you'll be involved. It sounds like it's going to submerge around you if you come to this thing and check it out.
It is completely immersive. The moment you walk in, you should feel like you're immersed in the experience of a circus or a carnival or something like that.
And what date is this on again?
August 22nd from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay, so 3 to 8.
Yep.
That's man, that's a lot of time, and that's going to be great for people to go. So if someone wanted to throw some money at this to help you guys to
Yes.
get this off the ground, are you still open to people helping?
100%.
Yeah?
We are always happy to everything. Yes, all the help we can get. To the key for me personally, and for I'm sure James and Jamie as well, with Iron Kids, is out of all of their properties, at least half of them have wait lists. And so Cedar has grown so greatly that they can't even keep up with the growth anymore. Yeah. And there's such a demand for what they do that we would really like to see them be able to expand their program as well. And so we don't necessarily think this year it's going to hit those goals, but this is going to be an annual thing. And so they, in 5 years from now, should be able to rely on the community to help keep their community funded, right?
So what are your goals? Is that crazy for me to ask? Because
no,
I think if people know out there how far away you are from them goals.
Deep down, we'd love to raise them $100,000. It takes $52,000 a year just to give snacks to all the kids.
Yeah.
And then they also have bus transportation, which has been an ongoing issue. Their buses are constantly breaking down.
That's sad.
Over the next several years, they could really use a full-time facility over the summer for their summer program.
Wow.
They currently use one of our elementary schools, but they're only allowed access Monday through Thursday in the morning. So all day Friday and every afternoon they have field trips, right?
Yes.
So they have to take all these kids places. Well, that takes a bus and gas and people and all the things, and grants only go so far and are only allowed to be used for certain things.
It's so sad. I wish that the government would get behind people like James they should supply a school bus. Like that, they're things.
Well, they even have to put in the money to repaint the school bus that they get because they can't even have it as a yellow bus. So there's another chunk of change.
I know the AC's quit working on it, and they had a few things go down and stop it. People don't realize that's not cheap. There's always 30, 40 grand right there, plus a driver.
The during school program is free. And so it's 2 hours of basically free childcare, right? They get enrichment and homework help and snacks and all these things.
I can testify to that. They help my boys a lot. And my boys for the last 3 years have been going through James's program. So I really appreciate that.
They're amazing. And they really are doing great things for this community. Mindy, yesterday, in her opening speech at the One Utah Summit, she had made a comment about how we need to be focused on the generation that's going to be inheriting what we're building now. And literally, I'm scribbling it on my notepad because I wanted to remember it word for word, because that's exactly what we're trying to do here. And why I built Wayfinder events is because we do need to remember and impact now what we want 10 years from now, because your kids 18, in 10 years, they're going to be thinking about what job they want, the career they're going into, what school they're going to, if they're going to go to school, a trade, if they're going to do a trade. They're going to start looking at what opportunities they have in our community. And if we don't start thinking about it now, I want my kids to stay here.
Absolutely.
I want my kids close by. And so I want my kids to have those opportunities. And I don't want Cedar to grow uncontrollably, like so big, so fast that we lose a sense of who we are as a community. But I do want it to grow to where my kids feel like they can live a decent life here, and so.
And honestly, Iron Kids in general, like their summer camp that my kids have been doing, they send out a roster every Monday, and it's so amazing. Like every single day they're going somewhere in the afternoons, whether it's watching movies at the arcade, or they're going swimming at the pools here, or they go down to St. George. They've been to museums. They go my kids come back well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems like it might be boring. scratch the surface. And they're like, actually, Dad, it's really amazing.
Really awesome.
We get to hang out with all our friends. We're away doing stuff, and it's from 9 till 4:30, 5 o'clock. Well, 4:30.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't even begin to tell you how much I'm so thankful for James and his family and what they're doing. And it's a selfless thing. Like I know he's not making money off this.
No. And I think that's why I have such a heart for it too, is because it does take so much of themselves and their sacrifices and their desire to make the community great and make the program bigger and better and stronger every single year. Like it's steadily growing. When James took it over, I'm not even going to throw a year out there. I just know it was a while back, right? When he took it over, I think he said there was only like 2 schools.
Yeah.
And so they've been able to expand it into so many more schools and help so many more kids. And nothing is more gratifying to me than helping, right?
Yeah. And in the after school care, they have agendas there too, right? They show up and sometimes they'll go on a little excursion. So usually they're on Fridays when things finish early.
Yep.
They'll take the kids and then they'll bring them back for like 4 o'clock pickup onwards. But usually it's like from 3:30 when the school's finished till like I think it's like 5:30. Yeah.
Yep.
So and having that bank of time, I'll come back. The kids walk out. They got swords that they've made, or they've got this that they've been working.
They're
lots
happy
of art,
and
lots of and most of the women and I won't just say women. There's men there too. Most of those guys are in college, trying to find something better, or they're actually stepping into that arena. There's been a lot of teachers on their way that I've learned over the past few years, and they're amazing people. They're so compassionate to the kids. Like my kids have never come home saying they never want to go back. Like if I say to them, you can't go there tomorrow, remember, there's no after school, we got to go piano. That's exactly what they do. Yeah. Oh man, it's like you piano guys. Oh, okay.
See, and my kids want to go, and because of the kind of program it is, and I'm home, like I'm like, no, we're gonna leave that open to those who need it, right? But how great would it be that if they could expand and accept more kids and everything? Even just getting the word out about them. Yeah. It's surprising how many people don't actually realize that they're there. That it's available. It's available.
Yeah, at East, I believe they opened it up the other day and it was already full within days. Like it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. But honestly, like I was going to school when I first come across it. So before then, my kids have been with me all the time. Yeah. And then I was going to school, so I reached out and they say, hey, we've got you a slot. Don't worry about it. Just bring your kids. You don't need to pay anything. I think some people do pay, some people don't pay for the after school care. I'm not sure how that works.
Not the summer program, yes. After school, I don't believe so.
Really? And they might be, okay, well, that's even better. I remember him saying to me, I finished school. I put school on pause, to be honest with you, so I could learn the technology behind it. And I said, hey, man, I've actually quit the school thing, so I could probably grab him. And he's like, don't you need time for you? I'm like, made me cry. Yeah. Because there is times where I'm stretched. So I'm super thankful for that too, you know, and just to have these things at my ready, you know what I mean? And I know there's way more people that are going through more stuff than I'm going through, you know?
Well, we can all sit there, right? We can always say, oh, somebody's had a harder life than me. But that doesn't negate how
still going
hard
through
it's been, right?
Still going through it.
Yeah.
Still trying to, you know, I've not... I think like what I said to my boys, you know, when we have some money coming in, when you actually see us going somewhere in the weekends and where we have to pay money to be there, and we can go out and have, like, maybe we go to the fun center on Monday nights for family home evening or something like that. When you start seeing me do those things, that's when you know that we are okay. We are not in the doldrums of where we've been. And I love it. I love that. If I build something phenomenal for my kids later in life, because that's my main goal right now, is I want to build something for them. I'll be super happy to achieve that and to get out of what and the fact that those kids have seen what I've been through. They've seen the tears.
The resilience that it takes to get to where you are from where you've been. Yeah.
Even my oldest, he comes up every other day. You know, every now and then he'll come up. He'll see me going through and I'm like, ugh, get off the phone. Ugh. And he walks up, I know you're doing hard things, Dad.
You got this.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, you have no idea. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's also good for them to see that. It's good for them to understand that life is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Life is life, and
you just have to push through it and accept it for what it is.
I'm a really firm believer on as you go through things in life. I mean, it's just wrapped up in you haven't learned certain lessons. So when it's beaten down on you, guess what? Just take a breath, step back a bit, and work out what lesson this is. What lesson is this?
Yeah.
Where do where's the exit door? Because I'm done with this one now. You know what I mean?
Well, I made the comment the other day to the kids because something had happened and they were disappointed, and I was like, well, at least there's this. That's a silver lining. And my youngest goes, what's a silver lining? And I was like, that little ray of sunshine right around a really dark cloud.
Yeah.
And you can be in the thick of the rain and every once in a while still have something bright to look at and be like, that was a positive moment. This all sucked, but that was a positive moment. And you can always find the blessing even in the bad. And I think training your brain to see it that way is what allows you to push through the bad without it taking you over. And so you just find the blessings.
Yeah.
Be grateful for them.
Yeah.
Be grateful for the lessons that come through that, right? The challenges and everything. 'Cause
they're not fun.
No.
And most times you don't really want to be there, and it's so uncomfortable and things like that. But coming out of it, it's like what you say. It's like that song, a little ray of sunshine. And it just gives you like sometimes I'm like so low, and it's like I'm in this tunnel and I'm looking up and all I can see this tiny little light. I'm gonna get there.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying. It's not easy.
No.
It's really not easy.
It's really not.
But it's really cool that you're teaming up with James and helping this go through.
Yeah.
You made a comment of, are you still with your business partner? Or
No, about 6 months ago.
Guys bought out?
Yeah, she ended up resigning.
Oh, okay.
Sounds
like you lost someone good.
I lost a very good friend. She's probably the best friend that I've had in my entire motherhood, being a mom.
Wow.
Finding mom friends is not always easy, especially a mom that has kids your age who, enjoys the same kind of lifestyle you do and everything like that. And we bonded very quickly, very early. And then we built 3 years of a business together. So 5 years of friendship, 3 years of business together. Like I said, I am not a perfect person.
No one is.
And I allowed some frustrations to get to the better of me. And I yelled at her and we could not quite get over the interaction. So
they're hard times right there.
Yes. And so she resigned. She's still doing events with her husband and their catering company and everything, and I wish them all the best.
Great.
Yeah.
It seems like a good outlook to that. Anyway, they're not easy things to go through at the best of times.
Probably one of my biggest disappointments.
I can tell on your face. You're wearing it right now. I'm so sorry. So sorry for her too. Yeah, that's not fun to go through.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she picked up the bat and ball and kept going with what she's doing, and you did too.
That's life. I mean, you can't just sit in a place of shame and guilt
from mistakes
you've made, right? You've got to live in the fact that just because you're forgiven doesn't mean there aren't consequences, right? Just because life will continue doesn't mean that you don't face the consequences of the actions that you've taken. And I think that accepting them and owning them for what they are and who my part in all of it is the reason why I am able to continue in everything. I can still feel the hurt. I can still, I
can see it.
Yeah, sorry.
You wear it. No, you wear it very. I'm sorry that I brought it up, and I'm also not too, because we all go through that.
Yeah.
You'll make the most boneheaded decisions that end up in stupidness.
Yeah.
And before you know it, we're all a bunch of silly people, yelling and screaming and carrying on like pork chops.
Yeah. And my kids got to see that too. They got to see me own my actions. They got to see me live my consequences and see adult friendships not be perfect.
And they're so much harder as you get older, because now we don't put up with anything.
Like I said, I don't have a lot of friends. I'm not, I'm a really private person and I don't trust a lot of people. And so the fact that I allowed someone into my world and everything is a big deal to me.
It's hard.
It is. And so the loss is greatly felt.
I commend you on what you're going through, and I'm very sorry you went through that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Come out stronger in the end, and I will do better in the future, and I've learned a lot from it.
And Cedar City will get 2 businesses that can do the same thing now. And
Absolutely.
Much more.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad
we
thing.
have a very different style to us, and we don't do things the same way. She is amazing at design and everything. She's definitely more we're both good at both parts, and I think that's the beauty in it. But she really is great at making a feel within a room, right? You walk into a room and there's a feeling in it. I'm more logistical. I love logistics. It takes me back to my produce days and everything.
So you do a lot of prep and stuff too, huh? You're really good at that, getting that lined out.
It's definitely my forte. I think that's what makes the Iron Kids spectacular so fun for me. It's a lot of logistics. There are so many moving parts. You have vendors, you have sponsors, you have entertainment, you have food trucks, you have a beer garden, you have the venue, you have safety, you have all these.
That's a lot.
All these moving parts that you got to consider all at the same time. And we done it in a matter of months, when usually you take a good year to, especially from concept to production, definitely closer to a year. It would take.
As far as that goes, maybe we could do a small podcast, just a quick touch up, maybe with you and James sitting down in here before that's up, like maybe the week before or something.
Okay.
So to remind the people about it. I think that would be really cool for you guys.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they would too.
I think we do. And I know James was wanting to be here today, which I'm kind of glad he's not, to be honest with you. Having time to sit down and spend with you, like you've gone through some stuff, and we're still going through it, which is fantastic. It's
life is living.
Life is life. Life is life, and
Yeah.
to live it is a choice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And to make that choice is showing up every day. Man, there's a lot of people out there that don't show up,
Well,
or they can't show up, or they're going through it.
I had a moment when I was around 16 where I had to make the choice to live or not, like that sort of thing. I was very, very unhappy.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those, like, what am I going to do? Am I just going to be this miserable person or make changes in my life, right? And
we go through things at points. I mean, to live, to not to live, and all that sort of jazz. They're just... I would say majority of the time it's a cry for help, because you're just stuck. You're looking for how to live versus, I don't know, man, maybe it just seems like easier if I'm not, you know what I mean? And as dramatic as that sounds, if anyone's ever hearing anything like that, believe me, they need help, especially if they're actually reaching out like that.
I cannot imagine if that part of me was right now, where you have social media, and you have everybody saying, well, just do it.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I really wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Because I had plenty of people telling me that I wasn't worth it anyway. And that...
And you're 16 too, so you're going through all the hormones.
Right?
Wow.
And so it would have been... that's why youth, it's very tough. That's why my kids won't have any of that, the social media and all of that for
it's such
very
junk,
long
such bulliness, such silliness.
junk.
Like my goal for my kids, once they're out of this primary school stage, I would love to homeschool them. I don't want them to go through high school.
We start middle school this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my oldest is starting 6th grade. We actually chose to zone her for a different middle school because in her 5th grade class, out of 27 students, only her and one other student were zoned for this middle school, whereas the other 25 were zoned for that middle school, because we live so far out and everything. It's based on property lines and stuff. And I was like, I can't possibly send her to middle school with no friends.
No.
Right? That's madness. Middle school's hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
But that is something I've always told my husband. I was like, I wish we could homeschool.
Yeah.
I really do. But our life right now, and I think that's more of a conversation I have with God. It's one of those prayers. You let us know when the time is right, because it's on my heart. So I know it's there for a reason. But the timing, it's got to be God's timing, not ours. We can't force things into existence, you know. And
I know I'm going to try the best I can. I really don't
your
want my
timing
kids to
will
go
be
through that.
perfect.
Yeah, I
If
hope
you
so.
listen to the Lord, he'll guide you. He'll find the right time for you, and he'll tell you when to pull them and everything. But I believe that kids are their best when they get to grow with their parents. Like, I don't know, my parents weren't around a lot, and so
I get that.
I
I
was
understand
just
that.
sort of free to make all the mistakes without any level-headed correction.
Yeah.
And when you just ship them off to even elementary school, I mean, we have great schools here. That's why we left Vegas. There's great schools here. I could trust that when my kids are in school, that they're being treated well. It's small enough community. I know their teachers. I run into them at the grocery store, you know, and the July Jamboree, and have a half-hour conversation with them, you know, and it's
they're really cool.
fantastic. But at the same time, you just open them up to so much more than. It's just a tough place.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
I respect your desire to do that.
I want, you know, and let's see what happens when I get there, because, you know, let's face it, I'm not rich at all, by all means. But I'd like to...
I don't think you need to be in order to. In fact, that's always the one question my husband always asks. Well, you're building a business.
Yeah.
You know, how are you going to do that? And I was like, well, at that point, our kids are like, they're going to grow with the business too. They're going to have a place for it. And by the time they're 18, they'll know how to completely run an event. They'll know how to do all of that because they're doing their schoolwork in my office while I'm planning the events, you know?
They're seeing it firsthand.
Yeah, their computer course is basically, hey, I need this Excel sheet filled in. That's going to be your job today. Go ahead and type that up, you know?
Yeah.
And I can see that. But it's also... reality is different. I can always just dream of things, right?
Where the rubber meets the road is a different story.
Yeah, because you'd really have to navigate it, and it would not be an easy navigation.
Yeah.
I don't think homeschool is easy for anybody, but those who do it, they always say it's really worth it.
Yeah. I don't like I'm building an excavation company from scratch, like on peanuts. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't even know, like, the time commitment that I got to put to it. I have to do something with my kids. You know what I mean? So I'm really going to start. Well, I suppose once school starts and we got all the students and stuff back here, I'm probably going to have to lean on a lot of people like that and be like, hey, what can I pay you? And can you pick up my kids and get them to here and get them to there? Because if that's the case, I can work this day, that day, that day. And I'm going to have to get really, really specific with what I do and how I do it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
This summer has been extremely eye-opening because whereas last year we were just really starting to gain some traction with the Iron Kid Spectacular. We've got a trade show in November. We've got an award ceremony in January. We've got a gala in March. Like, we're booking out, and that's just the big things. Those aren't the little things that are in between. And the balance between where I need to be and who needs me at the time and what needs to get done. That's why I'm working till midnight, you know, because that spreadsheet still needs filled in. Payroll still needs to be sent. And so I find the minutes that I can, but it's important. I could work, you know, in the evenings, but I choose to take those hours that they're home off. And then when they go to bed, that's when I get back into it, right? And so and I take my time off. You have to have Sabbaths and all that, relax. And
it's good to do. It's good to touch ground. It's good to not, like, if I don't move my car on a Sunday, I've done something good.
Yeah.
I mean, we live right beside the park. There's a walking trail right there,
For
we
sure.
get out and do stuff. But for the most part, I don't like going anywhere. I just love being with my
you
boys.
Need a day off. You need a day to be as a family, and that's especially with him gone most of the week. You know, our weekends are precious. It's precious time and everything, and he's still because it's growing, right? I work Saturdays a lot, and so he gets daddy-daughter day.
Yeah.
And that's great for them, and they love it.
It makes up for a lot of time that he's not there when he's not there, which is fantastic.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I like Grant Cardone talks about he gets up at early in the morning. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing he does is wake up his kids. Come on, let's go to Starbucks. You know what I mean? They go off and go to Starbucks and they let mum sleep in.
Oh, okay.
He goes, because you get a kid up at 6 o'clock in the morning, they can't go past 8:30. I love that.
See, and it's opposite in our house.
Yeah.
My kids love sleep.
Uh-huh.
They do sleep very well. They sleep about 10 to 12 hours from whenever they went to bed.
Wow.
Pretty consistently. So if we go to bed at 10, they're sleeping until 10.
Wow.
But
That's way cool.
I cannot sleep past a certain point.
Hmm.
I'm up at 5 every day anyway, so on the weekends 7:30 is sleeping in.
Yeah.
Like that's an extra 2.5 hours for me, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll get up and I'll go spend my 3 hours of quiet before everybody else gets up, and then by the time they're up, I've answered all my emails, I've done all the things, and then I can spend family time with family and everything, and
so good.
balance. There is no such thing, but it's you have to try, right?
You got to try. Well, it's like it's a calm before the storm. If you have that reset button in the morning, I do the same thing. I get up and I get things lined out. Although right now I'm using that time to do DoorDash and things, which is fine for now, I suppose. I can't wait until I don't have to do that because those places just ripping me off. I'm averagely making around $12 an hour at the most.
Wow.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's
Okay.
stupid, and that's.
Not a livable wage.
That's not livable.
No.
I worked it out. After I work three weeks, when I do it in my spare time, that pays for the boys' jiu-jitsu, right? And that pays for that and gives us a little tiny bit of money in our pocket where it pays for fuel and stuff. But the majority of it, if I go out and make $40, there's $25 going back into my car, which is just stupid.
I have to commend you, though, because usually it's the story of the single mom working 3 jobs to make ends meet. And, when you hear the football players saying, thank you, Mom, you worked 3 jobs to put me through football camp and all this. You rarely hear of the dad that's doing that. And there are just as many out there like you that are really pushing, who really care and want to do right by their kids, even though they're going through things, right?
I'll give you one. This is interesting, right?
Okay.
I call myself a dad mom.
Yeah.
Right?
You sent that in the text. I was like, that's accurate. Yes.
When I get on the tools, when I advertise, hey, I'll do a job here. Every now and then I'll pick up a job, maybe do some drywall, maybe do something else. I go pick up a job. There's a person that I've known for a lot of years here, very much of a staple person in this community. Not a great person by all means. I go, he's in a pickle. He had someone quote him $11,000 to do sheetrock on his roof, right, on the ceiling. Where, he's trying to build this dojo thing. I said, hey man, I can hook you up. Just we'll call it $3,000, right? And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm halfway through it, and this guy's a businessman. He's a businessman. So what does he do? He puts his business hat on. He looks at me. You're a businessman. You put your business hat on. Did I quote you $7,000? Did I quote you that much? No, I didn't. I gave you a quote that actually gets me where I need to be. Right. And it could have been a fast job to be done. The guy still hasn't paid me. I didn't finish the job because I could feel he wasn't going to pay me. But it's the funny thing about that is he sees me as an equal. And the one thing that he doesn't understand, I hope he never has to, and I hope no man out there ever has to go through what I've gone through. But when you lose your matriarch in your family, it's all you. Yeah. It has taken me just to even cook food right. I mean, I remember the first time I cooked mac and cheese. I like cheese, guys, so I'm like, more cheese. And I overcooked the cheese. It's ridiculous. And my kids were 4 and 2 going, Dad, this is too cheesy. And I've heard that a lot, but now I'm actually pretty decent cook because I've taken all these years to cook. I had a win with cooking just Sunday. If I have some money, we'll call it Mum's Dinner. What do you guys want for tonight? It's Sunday night. Let's do Mum's Dinner. I'll go up and buy the Hormel packet with the au jus sauce and all this jazz, I couldn't afford that this week, so I was like, oh man, I'm so low, and I've just got like some chunks of like the stew meat you buy. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like Googling. I'm like, I took a photo of my pantry. What could I use out of here to make a steak gravy thing, something? And I knocked it up, and it came out so good.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And the boy's like, this is even better than Mum's Day. How'd you do it? It's like, I really don't know. But it was phenomenal to have those things, you know. Yeah. So the thing that was
the learning curve there. Yeah.
But since I've been in this town, I've picked up these jobs here and there, and everybody that I've worked for, except for a couple of people, have nickeled and dimed me out of a lot of money because they think it's, well, who cares? You're just another male. And it's like, I'm not a male. I have two little baby guys at home I've got to feed.
Yeah, but if the story, I guess,
it's horrible.
Yeah, when people don't understand where you're coming from,
it put me. I put over $1,000 worth of parts like out of my pocket into that job, and I had to buy some specialty tools to do it too. And I'm still sitting on those tools, you know what I mean? And you know, it's like, it's ridiculous. And I even said to him, man, just can you give me $2,000 for all the work that I've done, because it's almost finished.
Yeah,
it was at least he's over halfway finished. And I just couldn't believe that. And he's, you owe me. Good luck. Take me to small claims.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought, man, aren't you a nice guy? Owning a staple business where everyone drives past it every day. You know, you're doing all right. This $2,000's not going to hurt you none.
Right.
A little bit bitter about it, guys. I'm sorry. But you know what? We all go through it. And I know, and there's not just me out there. There's so many builders in this town that are licensed, insured, and bonded that are out there building proper jobs. Get to the end of the job 30 days later when people are supposed to pay, they're not paying. They've got liens on houses, and you can take them to court. What are they going to do?
Right.
If they don't pay you, they don't pay you.
Right.
You could get all the things lined up. They don't make people sell their houses, which I wish they would, because it holds them accountable for what they've got to pay for.
Right.
You know, it's just a really backwards world right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely a backwards world right now.
We've even got people coming up and working in Enoch. They're coming up out of Vegas and St. George. They're building houses over in Enoch. There's a whole bunch of houses over there right now. Check to see if their outside wall is 4 inches or 6 inches. They're not to our standard. They're not for 4 seasons. They're 4 inches thick. I just met with a builder yesterday, and he's hurting on this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? He builds his to a standard with 8 inches with insulation and things like that. Yep. And there's guys out there right now selling these houses. If you're looking in Enoch right now, I'd be very wary. I would be so wary. Anyone out there, check to see the plans. Check to see what the exterior wall is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no one's telling you, and they won't tell you. You got to ask these things. Ask the questions, guys.
Coming from the outside, I learned really quick that it's a small town.
Yeah.
And that it's got a lot of history within certain businesses and certain people and everything. And it takes a lot of time to gain trust from the community in everything. But when we went to build our house, I contacted probably 6 contractors, and only one of them returned my call.
Wow.
And we have a beautiful home. It was not the best experience.
No.
We were nickeled and dimed, and they tried to get us for probably, I think it totaled somewhere around $47,000 more than what they quoted.
Wow.
And we pushed, I'm a smart girl. I'm very organized. And so all of my paperwork was very documented and everything. So I was able to really call them out on the areas that they were trying to get over on us. And I think that it gave me the impression that they were very used to getting over on people. Because when I pushed back, I was the problem. And
how about just sticking to the contract that you signed in the beginning?
That's what I was
saying.
I
mean, I get it on both ends.
Yeah. And right? I'll never hire him again. I won't.
Was he local or was he?
He is, but I won't say who he is.
No.
Okay, I don't want to blast him on the radio. No. But well,
they're all hurting right now. Just so you know that this building in this town has slowed right down.
Yeah. And he got us. We were trying to build when it was still booming, 22, right?
And so you were against it.
Everything was expensive. Everything's come down since then. Our house would not have cost as much to build if we would have waited just a handful of years and everything. But I'm grateful to be in it. And it's a beautiful home. And so I sit in that gratitude the silver linings, right?
Yeah, the silver linings, yeah.
I sit in the gratitude of it is a very well done house.
They did a good job? Cool.
You know. It was just the process of it and the watching of the money and everything. When we put the driveway in, when we were just camping, we're from Vegas. So when we called for quotes, nobody gave us, we got one quote for it, and it was probably 45% more than it should have been.
For the driveway?
For the rock and the excavation on the driveway and everything.
You should have called me in like 3 months from now.
Yeah. I feel that.
I really love the process of working with homeowners and buyers and things. I love remodels and stuff like that. Like it's been my bread and butter for years. I've worked with a lot of great companies in California. I did a lot of my tile work is from Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? Like it's really nice work, and I love doing it. And I love working with people. It's being in the trenches as they're going through stuff. You know, hey, we're going to be friends for 3 months now. It's going to be a tip-top relationship.
It was 2 years of a relationship to build the house.
2 years. That is a year too long.
Yeah. Well, the first year was just
prepping.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to get the property lines adjusted and things like that so that we could build and everything. It was definitely a process, and they went to bat for us with the county and everything. It took them forever. I don't know if it was them or the county or who, but it took forever to make it happen. But I just...
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
It's not really. Yeah, no. The process is usually, it should be a lot of fun. But you're right. I mean, when you're
I don't think building a house is ever fun.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think it's nice in the end to get what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think the process is just naturally. It's like an event. There are a lot of moving parts, and you have to be constantly on top of all those moving parts.
I agree.
And you let one ball drop, and it snowballs, and it pushes everything off track, and the timeline is now off, and everything. So it takes a certain level of organization, and I should have known when I walked into their office the first time that...
Oh, they'll tell you everything.
That should have told me everything.
I say that to people too, like, as far as that goes, look at their desk, look at the surroundings, and then if you're going into a restaurant, guys, if you're really curious about a restaurant, look at their front door. Oh, and restroom, front door, restroom, just the little things. Look, how is the glass clean? Yeah. Nothing else will be, I promise you. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
No, there's like the Burger King here. It's always greasy. It's like so sad to see that. It's like, please clean it up, guys. You can do it. But what a chit chat, huh?
Yeah, this has been great.
Did we touch on everything that we need to talk about for you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me right now is the Iron Kid Spectacular.
Yeah.
It's where my brain is. I'm even now in between. I'm at the One Utah Summit. That's part of the reason I'm on campus so much right now. In between every single segment, I'm out there, laptop open, doing my next thing, you know? And so just making sure that we're buttoning things up and getting all of our ducks in a row and
getting ready for it.
Yeah.
So anyone out there, any businesses that could help this launch a little bit more, and you can get your name out too. Obviously, they're going to support logos and things. What would you do for people if they want to bring a bank of money to you guys to help you achieve your goals?
We do have sponsorship programs. It's because we're so close to the date, it's getting harder to include logos and stuff on printed materials.
Okay, so a bit sooner than later.
Yeah, if, for example, BZI. Love BZI.
They're amazing, huh?
Yes, and they are all about community, and they are one of our midway sponsors. And so we'll have their logo in places. If we have, the food truck, we have zones for our sponsorships. You can sponsor a zone.
Oh, okay.
And then we put your logo all over that zone. So if you were the food truck zone sponsor, we would put your logo on every single food truck and let everybody know that you sponsored them to be there.
That's amazing.
That sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But we are closing in on the times to do so. Honestly, just donate and show up. If you could give back to the cause, even just $5, we'd be appreciative. It can go straight to the organization. But showing up, buying tickets, enjoying it, that's really what's going to help us, because
you got a lot of things going on there. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, well, and if we want to make this an annual fundraiser for them, we kind of need people to come and want to enjoy it. And so
at the very least, show up, guys.
That's all we're asking,
And the date is the 22nd.
August 22nd.
Yeah,
yes.
So that's coming up real fast.
It is. The first full week of school, the weekend after.
Done.
And so,
so 2 weeks of the whirlwind that's coming.
Yeah.
They're ready. They're going to be there for you. So
just go have some fun. We'll be at the open house night at all the elementaries on August 10th.
Oh, great.
4:30 to 6, I believe, or 4 to 5:30, somewhere right in
like
there.
Yeah.
The evening of August 10th. And so we'll be selling tickets. You can buy tickets right there. Learn more about Iron Kids themselves. It will be an Iron Kids booth and everything at the open houses. And just come out and support the kids, because that's ultimately what's going to happen. It is going directly back to the next generation of our community. And so if you have any desire to help the community, I say focusing on what's coming up next, those who are coming up next, and giving them the best start in life is what we should be doing.
Yeah, we need to help Iron Kids, guys, where they need our help. And
Yes,
they do
they do.
support a lot of people in this community, so we should all be aiming for that as much as possible. I have one last question before we go out.
Okay.
And it can do with anything that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
What makes the difference?
What makes the difference in life?
Sure. Whatever comes to mind. Like, I don't want to pigeonhole you into anything. Just what makes the difference?
Faith.
Oh, I like that.
It's everything to me. I could not live this life without it.
I love that. You want to elaborate that a bit more?
Jesus is the best.
There you go.
The freedom that comes from knowing the King is all that you really need in life, and he works all things out for the good of his kingdom. All the bad that has happened in my childhood is turned into not for me, right? It's not, he turns all bad things for the good of you. It's the good of his kingdom. And so when I experienced things as a kid that were bad, it's turning around, and my kids aren't going to experience that. His kingdom just got better because he turned that bad into something good. It's translating in a good way, right? And they won't experience the things that I did. So they will be able to translate that into their own children who will translate. Every generation should progress better if we allow the Lord to make the bad things into good.
Yeah, and prayers
that would
work.
Be my thing.
I hope that they learn the lessons that you learned. You can talk about the lessons, but I hope they don't ever have to go through those lessons.
That's what I tell them all the time. I don't tell you the things that happened in my life so that you feel bad for me.
No.
I tell them to you because ultimately they're going to help you not make the same choices, not be used in the same way, not, just many different aspecents of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I teach my kids all about hard things too that I've gone through. And it's like, I hope you never have to go through that yourself. So I appreciate that message.
But they also see that you've done it.
Yeah.
So if they had to, they could.
They can.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they see that resilience and they gain from that. So.
Yeah. Everybody out there, please support Iron Kids. Mark your calendars for the 22nd.
Yes.
We'll get you back in here in a week's time to promote this again if you guys are down for it.
Yep.
And give a bit of a shout out to the community to show up. And please show up because they need you guys. They need you out there.
Yes.
Kara, thanks for being here. I really appreciate your time.
I can't believe I was here.
We did it.
Thank you.
We did it. We got to the end.
We did.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Honey, all my cars are show.